What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? It is late tonight. I just got home late. I had a lot of things to do, y'all. So sorry for being, let's see, 7th or 8th or that 2 hours late. But on the on the West Coast, it's only 9:23 p.m. So it's still early here. Okay. But anyway, y'all, happy Friday. Today is February the 10th, 2023. And tonight I'm coming with you guys with three sad stories. We're not going to be on here that long tonight because I am on kind of late. But thank you still for tuning in, and thank you to everybody who watched this in the replay. Y'all, don't forget to thumbs up this video as well as subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and also hit that notification bell to be notified of any upcoming videos. Also, tomorrow, guys, check out my Dollar Tree haul that will be up tomorrow morning, Saturday morning. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. It doesn't matter if no one comes in because it is late on the East Coast, but I still need to go ahead and get this video out because this is my regular schedule. I'll be off on the weekends, no videos again until Monday. Monday through Fridays are the only days that I do lives. Okay, and on the weekends, no lives. All right. So let's go ahead and get started here. Okay. So, guys, I said I wanted to go over three stories tonight. Let me go ahead and turn this music on in the background. Wait. And let's see here. It's kind of nice doing this like this because it reminds me of when I do just the pre-recorded videos. I don't have to worry about too much when I'm doing the videos like this. Okay, let's see. Normally I would have waited till in the morning, but again, I'll be busy, and plus I don't want to do any videos on the weekend anymore. Trying to start a regular schedule here. Let's turn this down to right there. Okay, we're gonna turn this down right here. So hey, Missy, thank you for tuning in, Missy. Probably won't be that many people watching tonight because I came on kind of late, but I wanted to, like I said before, I wanted to maintain my regular schedule because I won't be coming on any weekends anymore. It would just be Monday through Fridays, okay, like a regular job. But anyway, let's go ahead and get this started because I only want to be on here for about an hour tonight because it's kind of late. Okay, so guys, there was this story that I found earlier today. It's about a woman named Denise Middleton who was 26 years old, and she was pregnant, and she was found dead inside a Maryland apartment. And the thing about it, guys, is that her boyfriend killed her. Okay. And when he killed her, he did not dispose of the body or call no one or anything. What he did is left the body laying on the floor of the bedroom for like 2 months. Okay. 2 months, her dead body. And he came home every night, every day. And I don't know what he did about the smell or anything, but hey, he was in there with that body for 2 months. So let me just tell you guys how the story went. So Denise Middleton, 26, was a funny, witty, and loving person. Her family said in a statement to DC News Now. She loved fashion, hair, and makeup. She could make any outfit out of anything. Her laugh was infectious, and her jokes were the highlight of special moments. She was so excited to become a mom. She told everyone who would listen. Her heart was so big. She always made sure you knew she loved you. Loved you. Denise was a walking book of positive affirmations. She always said the nicest things about you when she saw you, always complimenting someone and giving out love. If you had a disagreement with her, she would make sure to make things right. Denise was so loved by her family and so cared for. We are heartbroken that this was her story in reality. We wish our efforts would have brought her back home to us. Denise and baby Ezekiel is loved and missed by the Middleton family. Thank you all for your prayers and kind words. This has shaken our family up, but has brought us even closer. We will make sure justice is served for her and her baby. Okay. That was a statement from her family, guys. Now, this is a story, okay? Law enforcement happened upon Middleton's body while police were searching were serving a search warrant related to the shooting death of a convenience store clerk on December the 8th, 2022. They entered and found Middleton's body in an advanced state of what do you say this? Decomposition. I think I said that right. The residents of the apartment, 31-year-old Tori Damian Moore, has been arrested for first-degree murder in the convenience store shooting and is facing two more murder charges for the slaying of Middleton and her unborn child, a boy. When SWAT made entry and after arresting Moore, they discovered a deceased female believed to be an adult on the floor in the apartment in an advanced stage of decomposition. Montgomery County Police Chief Marcus Jones told reporters Middleton, who was determined to be 8 months pregnant, had been shot many, many times, Jones said. So let me let y'all hear this real quick, y'all. Just listen.
A big update for you in Montgomery County. Police have identified the pregnant woman who was found dead inside of a Silver Spring apartment. Her name was Denise Middleton. She was 26 years old. Police say Middleton died back in October, but wasn't found until last week. Now, investigators believe Tori Moore killed her. He was wanted for a deadly shooting at a convenience store. And when officers searched his home, they found Middleton's body. Moore is charged in Middleton's death and the death of her unborn baby.
Okay, I'm going to show y'all that video, the other video. Okay, so Moore told authorities that he and Moore were in a relationship, but allegedly there had been some type of fight between the two about 1 month prior that led to the victim becoming deceased prior to that day, Jones said. Investigators believe Middletown, I thought they called her something else before. Let me see what did they do here. They had a different name up here. It's Middleton, even though they made a typo right here. Was killed sometime in October 2022, and that Moore had been living in the apartment alongside her body all that time. Middleton's body was taken to the office of the chief medical examiner for an autopsy, which revealed the fetus would have lived if he had been delivered at the time of Middleton's death. Moore is currently being held without bond. Okay, let's go to the other stories about this. That is a daggone shame. Let me find the other stories I had on her so I can let y'all see this video about this. But anyway, guys, I guess the guy and his girlfriend had an argument, okay? And clearly it must have got out of control because he allegedly took a gun and shot her, I think like 7 or 8 times with the gun, you know what I'm saying? And she was 8 months pregnant, like they said in the article, and then she died. And I don't know if he moved the body to the bedroom or what, but anyway, he left the body on the floor, okay? And all this time, this dude carried on with regular life every single day for 2 months. And then one day, I guess he got up or whatever the case is, went to a convenience store, and I think he got into an argument with the clerk over some sweet tea or something. And then he took out a gun and shot the clerk a couple of times and walked out of the store with his sweet tea. Okay. And I guess they had him on surveillance camera, right? And they started trying to find out who this guy is or whatever the case is. And then I guess they figured it out, went to the home to search it, because they had a search warrant. And upon searching the home, that's when they discovered Middleton dead on the floor in the bedroom by the bed. And she was 8 months pregnant. And like they said, if he would have called the ambulance, they could have saved the baby. But since he didn't, and I don't know what was wrong with this dude, the baby died too. But I want to show y'all some more videos on this. Wait, let me go to Google and type it in. This is sad. And you know, I didn't even hear about this story, okay? What was her name? Denise Middleton. Okay, let me just go ahead. Um, I didn't even hear about this story way back in December, and if I did, I really wasn't paying any attention to it. Okay, let me see. Okay, let's go ahead and do this one. So let's go ahead and play this because this guy is crazy. Let me show y'all this video. This is sad. Wait. Let's go ahead and put this on. Put my shirt down. Okay. Y'all, I got my other shirt pulled up over me. Okay, this is weird. I know.
Woman found inside a White Oak apartment on Oakleaf Drive, that's in Silver Spring. This woman's name, Denise Middleton. Police believe the 26-year-old was killed by Tory Moore back in October. 26-year-old Denise Middleton was a funny, witty, and loving woman who loved fashion, hair, and makeup. She had a huge heart and an infectious laugh, always making the best out of any situation. Her friends and family described her as a walking book of positive affirmations. There was no limit to her outpouring of love. If she ever had a disagreement with someone, she would make it her duty to mediate the situation. Most importantly, she was looking forward to giving birth to her son, whom she planned on naming Ezekiel, sharing the news with anyone who would listen. Denise was so loved and cared for by her family. No one understood how or why she just upped and disappeared out of the blue. Little did anyone know they would never see or hear from Denise again until a twisted chain of events would occur months later. Around 3 p.m. on December 8th, Montgomery County, Maryland police were first called to the Shell station on New Hampshire Avenue for reports of a shooting. Upon arrival, they would find an unresponsive male.
A gas station turned crime scene in Montgomery County today. Police say someone shot and killed an employee at a Shell station in White Oak. Police arrived to the scene on New Hampshire Ave around 3 p.m. and found the victim dead at the scene. The gunman's still on the run tonight. We talked to a neighbor who says it's shocking to have deadly violence hit so close to home.
It's really gut-wrenching to hear because I have to be honest, I was at this gas station earlier this morning. I go to this gas station almost every single other day. So you never know when violence is going to strike, and you hope it's not you, but you also hope no one else gets hurt.
Police have not yet released the victim's name. Of course, if they make an arrest, we'll be sure to bring those details to you right here in DC News Now.
The victim was identified as 61-year-old Ayalu Wandamu of Silver Spring, who was also an employee at the convenience store. He was sadly pronounced dead at the scene. Police said that 31-year-old Tory Moore had entered the convenience store and picked up merchandise before heading to the counter, where a verbal fight started between Moore and Wandamu. It escalated into a physical fight when Moore pulled out a gun and shot Wandamu multiple times. Police tracked Moore to the Enclave Apartments, which is located across the street from the Shell gas station. After obtaining a search warrant for his apartment, a SWAT team located the body of a pregnant woman on the floor of the apartment in an advanced stage of decomposition. Moore told detectives that he had been in a relationship with the woman, but the two allegedly got into an argument and that she appeared to be 8 months pregnant when she died. Police say they did not receive any missing persons report or complaints from neighbors smelling a body. Her body was sent to the office of the chief medical examiner for an autopsy to identify her and determine how she died. The woman was identified as 26-year-old Denise Middleton, who police say had been deceased since October, with Moore living alongside her body the entire time. The autopsy determined that she had been shot multiple times. It was also determined that the fetus would have lived if Denise had given birth at the time of her death. 3 days after her body had been identified, her family spoke out and stated the following: "We are heartbroken that this was her story in reality. We wish our efforts would have brought her back home to us. Denise and baby Ezekiel are loved and missed by the Middleton family. Thank you all for your prayers and kind words. This has shaken our family up, but has brought us even closer. We will make sure justice is served for her and baby Ezekiel. #protect Black women."
A disturbing twist in a deadly gas station shooting in Montgomery County. Police arresting a man they say gunned down a gas station clerk. And new tonight, A gruesome discovery in his home, a woman's decomposing body.
I've been out here for a few hours and I actually had to share the disturbing details with people who live here. And their overall reaction was that they just couldn't believe that their neighbor was keeping a woman's decomposing body in his apartment. And on top of that, she was pregnant.
Why can't we be aware of, finding a decomposing pregnant woman in the same building that I live in?
People who live at the Enclave Apartments in White Oak are in shock after police say their neighbor, 31-year-old Tori Moore, had a pregnant woman's decomposing body in his unit. Police say they discovered the body when they came to arrest him for another crime. He's accused of shooting and killing 61-year-old Ayalu Wandamu last night. Wandamu was a clerk at the Shell gas station across the street from where Moore lives.
Noticing such kind of barbaric actions, getting someone inside the shops who is doing his own good job for the people providing services for no reason, this is something unacceptable for this society.
Police Chief Marcus Jones says Moore shot the 61-year-old employee multiple times in the chest after a heated altercation between the two. Jones described Moore as a regular customer who often caused problems, but they arrested him without any issues and say he even confessed to his crimes.
He also told detectives that he was in a relationship with a female who was pregnant. The female who was found inside of the apartment, and that there had been some type of fight between the two about 1 month prior to that led to the victim becoming deceased.
It's heartbreaking, it's really sad that the world has just got to a point where it's this crazy.
Moore was arrested and charged with first-degree murder and possession of a firearm while committing a felony, and is facing 2 more murder charges for the slaying of Denise and her unborn child. The case remains ongoing.
And they do believe Moore is the father. Moore appeared in court today for a bond hearing in the murder of the gas station store employee who was killed. This is 61-year-old Ayelu Wandimu. The suspect was ordered to undergo a psych evaluation. He's due back in court a week from today. It's not clear when he'll appear for the 2 new murder charges, but one thing we do know is that according to police and prosecutors, no one reported hearing gunshots, no one reported suspicious activity or suspicious odor coming from the unit, and no one reported the woman missing.
If you want a safe community, it'll be the product of our working together to make the community safe. Again, I don't know if we could have changed the outcome in this case. I'm just making the observation that I know that we can do better as a community. Working together, reporting crimes.
There is also a question as to whether those living at the Enclave Apartments are scared to come forward. I'm told at least one council member attended inspections at that site back in 2019, and that complex is known to the county as a problematic dwelling. Councilmember Will Jawando told me he is meeting with the Tenants Association there this week to discuss concerns given what happened.
Okay. That's a damn shame. That's a daggone shame. What I'm trying to figure out, these people who saying don't snitch and all this other stuff. I mean, when a body is not alive anymore, good and well after probably a couple of hours, it starts to stink. Now you cannot tell me no one in that building on that floor smelled anything strange. Okay. Now, I did pull up another article where a tenant did say that she did notice a smell. She smelled something. And I think she said that the apartment complex portal was down. So I guess she, as well as other tenants, could not give them their complaint. But the thing is, why come no one walked to management office to let them know about this smell? And then, or the leasing office, okay, because someone is there to lease out the buildings. And then you wonder, I'm pretty sure they were taking people around to look at apartments, right? So when they did that, they did not smell anything weird coming from that apartment, because a dead body is going to fumigate all over the area and beyond. So I find it very hard that no one smelled like smell that smell from a dead body, point blank. Then She was missing for 2 months, right? Hold on, y'all. Wait a minute. So, y'all, she was missing. I had to go get my back scratcher. But anyway, she was missing for 2 months, right? So you would wonder, and being 8 months pregnant, why come her family members, wasn't calling to check on her? And then I had read another article as well saying that Denise was trying to leave her boyfriend. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Because I don't know if that was their apartment together or if they got back together after she left. And then how some dudes encourage you to get back together with them and stuff. And then, she moved over there with him when they got the apartment together. I don't know. All I know is that I heard in another article that she was trying to get away from him. Okay. Because clearly they must have been having problems before, the murder happened. And the thing about it, I keep on telling women, if you're in a relationship and a guy is being violent and, just doing the most with you, you need to get out of that relationship and get away from that person. Okay? Because as you can see, we hear about stories like this all the time. You know what I'm saying? And the sad thing about it is that an innocent baby got killed as well, and it's just a shame. Now this is her. I think this is her sister, right here talking. Let's see about her. It's either her cousin. I think this is her cousin. Oh, no, I don't want to. No. This is on a TikTok. Let me actually go. I think I want to go to the interview what her sister, her cousin did. Let me see if I can find that one where her cousin was talking about her. Let me see if this is the one right here. Let's see, y'all. Let me see if I can pull that up. Because it's two of them, right? One is a newscaster that they claim was missing. And then this lady right here, Denise, this is the one that got killed back in October. And they didn't find the body until December. Let's see if I can pull up the other video. Let's see. It was another video that I watched earlier with the cousin talking. Let me see if I can pull that one up. Probably can't because I want to get an update on him anyway because this is way back in December and I want to see, let me see if they got any updates too. But I wanted to show y'all what her cousin said, trying to find that video because I was watching that earlier. I thought I saved the video. This must be her funeral. Let's see. Let's see if I can find that. Because like I said, when you look up her name, there's going to be two Denise Middletons that show up. One is the girl that got killed, and the other one is the news lady that was reported missing. So you have to make sure you got the right one. So let's see. Okay, so let me just update y'all on something. The man who was charged in that was real incompetent to stand trial. So clearly he must have some type of mental conditions going on. Okay, let's see. So Tory Moore, the man arrested in the fatal shooting of a White Oak gas station attendant on December the 8th and facing additional murder charges in the death of the decomposed pregnant woman, which is his girlfriend, found in his apartment in Silver Spring, has been ruled mentally incompetent to stand trial. So he's definitely is suffering from some sort of mental problems, which we could probably figure that out because who in the hell would be sitting in a house with a decomposed body laying there? You know what I'm saying? Two of them actually, Moore is charged in the deaths of Awalu Wandamu, 61, a gas station attendant who was gunned down December the 8th, and Denise Middleton, 26, whose remains were found on December the 9th in a state of advanced I would say this wrong. Decomposition. I say that wrong every time. In Moore's apartment. And the fetus she was carrying which was 8 months along and viable, meaning that it could have been able to still live if they would have found the body in time. Okay. Middleton's family members said they were heartbroken and described her as a funny, witty, and loving person in a statement released this week to media outlet DC News. Okay, so we already read it. Okay, let's see. So anyway, on that Monday in December, Judge Amy Bill scheduled a June 13, 2023 date for a hearing for Moore, according to the Office of Montgomery County State Attorney John McCarthy. So they're going to do a hearing to see if if he's competent to stand trial on June the 13th, 2023. A doctor's report presented in court found Moore to be dangerous to himself and others, and therefore, as a result, he was not eligible to be released into the community. So he has been held without bond and is being represented by the Office of the Public Defender, according to the state's attorney. So the thing is that I wonder why I don't know, I don't know, maybe he didn't never go to the doctor, but I mean, I'm pretty sure he did other things to make people question his mentality. Because I don't know, I'm just trying to figure out why nobody knew that this dude was a little off, and you can't say that he was faking and pretending to be crazy, because you know what? No one that's sane will be in the house with a decomposed body. Okay, point blank. No one. Something is wrong with him. And then the thing is, too, if he met the girl's family, and I know it's hard to convince people not to talk to someone that they're in love with and blase, blase. But damn, I mean, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Maybe just keep on talking to her or whatever the case is, because he had to show some signs of being mental. For real, he had to show some signs. I cannot believe that he didn't, show any type of signs that he wasn't all there. They say he was not only dangerous to himself. Well, no, they said he's not only dangerous to others, he was also dangerous to himself. So he must have been saying he's going to kill himself or whatever the case is. I don't know. But the thing is, I'm just trying to figure out why people don't recognize all these signs in these men or women that they're dating. You know what I'm saying? Because good and well, he just didn't magically start being a little off. And then, like I said, in another article that I read that they were arguing before and fighting. And that I guess she was trying to break up with him before, and they probably got back together. I don't know. He probably was sweet talking her like a lot of men do. And then they get back together, and then she moved back in with him, or they get a place together. You think everything gonna be okay because you're praying in, you're excited and all this, and then they get into an argument, and then he takes out a gun and just starts shooting her. That's crazy. That is weird, man. I mean, that is weird. So in June, he goes back to court to see if he can stand trial, which he's probably just nuts. I don't know. So we could, around that time, I'll keep you guys updated, let you guys know what happened. But I know one daggone thing, it's a shame how people don't recognize certain things and then get away from people when they show you that they are capable of doing something violent to you. And like I said, I don't believe people sometimes they do, but normally people give you signs and they don't normally just come out of the blue and just do stuff. And I'm talking about like boyfriends and girlfriends, okay? Usually they give you some type of some type of clue that they're going to be, that they're dangerous, that they're a little off or whatever the case is, or violent or whatever. It's just a trip, man. I'm telling you. Okay. So let's see. Okay, let's see. They got that all over the place too. Okay. All righty. Let's go ahead and go to the next story, guys. My condolences to her family and friends, and may she rest in paradise. And my prayers for the family, because that's sad. That really is. And I hope justice be served for Tori, the guy who's accused, her boyfriend, who is accused of, killing her and their baby, as well as he was accused of killing the store clerk. Okay, so hopefully, like I said, justice will be served in regards to both of those, well, all three of those murders. It's a daggone shame that we don't see things, in people before it get to that point. And some women always wait too late to get away from these dangerous men and end up getting killed or hurt, or the kids get hurt or killed. It's just ridiculous. So now we're going to go ahead and go to the next story, guys. The second most very sad article that I want to tell you guys about. What is this right here? Let me check to see what this is first. Okay, we'll go to that one after a while. Let's go to this. So now I do want to go ahead and go over this one first. Okay, so a Texas mother is demanding answers after her 6-year-old son was sexually assaulted on a school bus. Okay, a Houston mother is requesting for her son's bus driver to be terminated and the school's principal to be disciplined after discovering her child was allegedly raped on the bus repeatedly for months. The Post, Texas mother demanding answers after her 6-year-old son was sexually assaulted on school bus, appeared first on Blavity, Blavity. The concerned mother requests answers from Aldine ISD officials after concluding that her 6-year-old son was sexually assaulted by a juvenile in the back of the bus for months. Okay. I'm angry. I have no words, Latoya Stormy Monroe said to ABC. On February the 6th, community activists in Monroe gathered outside the Aldine ISD bus barn where she spoke with outlets about the incident. Now, I'm going to stop this real quick because you know what? When I first read this story, I actually thought the bus driver was the one they were alleging that he or she did this to this child. But after reading the story, now I see that she said that another child sexually assaulted her 6-year-old. Okay, so how did this child do this without the bus driver knowing? Okay. Anyway, according to ABC, Monroe says she wasn't aware of anything until last week when her son's backpack went missing, which led her to contact school transportation officials to help locate her son's bag. Monroe was called after officials reviewed security footage of the bus and learned the assaults were caught on camera. Okay, so I don't even know why they use allegedly, because if they got a security camera which shows this, then they know it happened. Okay. She says she then received a call 5 hours later asking her if she could come to the school and pick up her son. And there was Aldine ISD officer that needed to speak to me, she recalled. I get to the school and find out that my son was sexually assaulted. Days of questioning, days of talking to my child, the details became more and more graphic each and every time. Monroe's son has returned to school since the incident, but is not riding the bus home. I don't know if my son will go back to that school, okay, period. Monroe explained to ABC that her child doesn't understand the situation magnitude and impact quite yet. He's not really at his age understanding the magnitude, she said. He actually really stated, why couldn't that boy be given a second chance? If God gives second chances, why couldn't the perpetrator get a second? chance. Due to the case involving a minor and juvenile, the case would not be public. Okay, so that's all we're going to hear on that. But I'm still trying to figure out how in the heck did the bus driver not know this was happening in the back of the bus? And then why didn't the other children say anything? Okay, why? Marcy said, it is too much. Is it too much to expect a bus driver to watch the road and always watch the children, especially in the back seat? There should be a bus monitor on every bus so the driver can pay attention to his or her driving. The thing is, we all drive. We also been on buses, school buses, and everything else. I still say the bus driver should have known that the child was being sexually assaulted. Okay, it happened a bunch of times. All right, numerous. Okay, even though he has to keep his eyes on the road, you can't tell me he's not looking in his rear view mirror at times to glance in on the glance at the children. Okay, I have seen bus drivers do this. Okay, this is very strange. Let's see. This guy right here says, I drive a school bus and all of the activity. What? I drive a school bus and all of the actively used buses have the latest high-tech cameras installed, which also work in the dark. I have had problems with a couple of middle school kids who like to put tape over the cameras. What they didn't realize is that those cameras have a pretty wide view, and their faces were already recorded a second before they thought to pull their hoodies down. Turns out they have been expelled from riding the bus until school ends in May. Until these updated cameras were installed, even the bus monitor who rides with me couldn't catch all bad behavior, and a lot was not discovered. Then we had some serious issues with parents of kids who had been victimized by bad behavior. This led to the administration to spending the amount of money needed for good camera systems. This isn't a guarantee or stopping of everything, but it sure helps. But the thing is that if they can't see the bus in its entirety through the rearview mirror, like I said before, like somebody else said, then they should have monitors on the bus. Okay. Also, make sure all the children sit down in their seats. And I don't know if they have seatbelts on the school buses. I think they do here. So make sure they have their seatbelts on and everything. And that way they can't get up like that so easily. It's just a lot of things you can do. And just basically just glancing at your rear view mirror to check on the children, especially if you hear some weird noises or other kids being super, super quiet or whatever, just something weird. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just feel like the bus driver should have saw something. Okay, come on. I mean, it happened numerous times. And then I'm trying to figure out why if the little boy was telling his mom, I'm sure he wasn't, but why would he tell his mom? And exactly what was the child doing? They said sexually assaulted. So what does sexually assaulted mean? Right. Somebody said her poor baby. He didn't even tell her what was happening to him. He is so little and defenseless. I really think there needs to be bus monitors in addition to the bus drivers on all buses. A bus driver cannot see what is going on all the way in the back. They need to keep their eyes on the road and get the kids home safely. There needs to be a second adult that sits in the back seat and frequently walks up and down the aisle during the route. I would happily pay more taxes to hire these individuals to keep our kids safe. Again, because I've been on those school buses, I have kids, and I've been on those school buses. I still say if they glance at the rear view mirror, you can see a lot. And if you have complete control over the kids on your school bus, you can deter a lot. Okay, a lot of times I have seen school bus drivers, just let the kids do whatever. They be standing up on the bus and everything, doing the most. So that's probably why the bus driver couldn't see what was going on or knew that anything was going on. And then also parents, you have to school your kids and let them know that they need to tell you if a child or a grown up is touching them. Okay, there's nothing normal about another child sexually assaulting another child. Okay, nothing sexual or anything that's even in that anything that's um making you think it's sexual. A child shouldn't be doing that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to figure out why the little boy didn't, tell his parents, because that's not something that should be normally happening. Even if the little boy was his friend or he didn't feel like the child, I don't know. I just think he should have been saying something. 6. I know. I don't. It's just very, very, sad. Okay, point blank. Because I'm just trying to figure out why the little kid didn't say anything. You know what I'm saying? Because, sexual stuff, come on now. Let me see what else they said. Okay, we already read that. So, yeah, she said she basically, her son just does not understand what was happening. But still, if you teach your kids, if somebody touch you in a certain place or do stuff to you, you definitely need to come and tell dad or mom, because that's not normal to be touching on a child and stuff. And even at 6 years old, if you're teaching your child this, they know that no one should be touching them in any area or kissing on them or anything. And we know this is sexual assault. So that's a daggone shame. Let me see if they got any more articles on this. Let's see. Same one. Yeah. They're going to keep this as a hush hush because the child is a minor and so is the other one. That's a daggone shame, y'all. So what y'all think about that? I don't even know if they would even give an update on that because it involves minors. But I know one thing. I feel like the bus driver should be fired. I really do. Point blank. Because I still say people giving excuses for the bus driver, but I still say the bus driver should be looking in the rearview mirror at the red light. Every time you stop at the daggone red light, you can look in the mirror. You can look at it. Shit, I've been on 50,000 buses, and I know you can see the back seat. You can't see every little thing going on, but you can they know you watching. So if kids know you're watching them and you're like, hey, I want everybody to be quiet, sit down, just keep on saying stuff like that, they're going to know you're watching them. So they're not going to be trying to do stuff. Even if you can't see them, if you're a bus driver, you're sitting in front driving, and every time you stop at the red light, you be like, hey, make sure everybody is sitting down in your seats, keep your seatbelt on, and no loud talking. If you keep on saying stuff like that, it's showing the kids that you're watching. They don't know you can't see them. They don't know. So therefore, they're going to be less likely to do weird things. If you're not seeing anything, you're just driving and being in the twilight zone, kids would do anything on a school bus. That's why they be fighting other kids on school buses and hitting them and doing other crazy stuff. You got to act like, even if you can't see them, you definitely got to act like you see them by talking, by every time you stop at the light, you look back there and say, you can even turn around if you're at the red light and be like, turn around and be like, okay, I want everybody to keep your seatbelts on, keep your voices down. You can say that. But a lot of times these school bus drivers be scared of the kids, y'all. I'm not going to lie. And these kids be on the bus and they be doing the most. Okay, I took my daughter off the bus. I'm going to be perfectly honest, okay? Because the little boy was on the bus reading her notes and shit and just doing the most, and creating confusion. I just took her off the bus. But I school my kids anyway, at a young age. If somebody touch you, you let me know. You know what I'm saying? You let me know. First, you try to knock the hell out of them. And I don't care how old you are and how old they are either. And scream or whatever you got to do. And then let me know. Point blank. But, I'm going to be perfectly honest with y'all. I used to take my kids to school when they did go to public schools and stuff like that. And like I said, I still say that bus driver should be stopping at the light and taking a look back there, whether he or she looks in her rear view mirror or turn your ass around and look, point blank. And I know some of them don't do that because I have had So many kids on a school bus. Plus, when I used to teach, um, I would walk on the school buses at times and stuff. Even the smaller ones for the kindergarten kids and stuff, you know. But a lot of times these bus drivers, not all, some bus drivers are real good, but some just let those kids do whatever they want to. Because like sometimes you can be driving right next to a bus driver, a bus, and the kids be doing the most in the back. Okay. And we all know that you got to pay careful attention to the people in the daggone back of the bus, the kids in the back of the bus. You got to, because it's very hard to see them. You let, and also too, when they get on that school bus, you let them know what's up. You know, if they think you're not a timid, scared bus driver, they less likely to be doing crazy stuff on the bus. You know what I'm saying? You can be friendly, but still be firm. Let me see what Missy said. Right, I agree with you, Missy. You're right. I mean, you cannot convince me that this bus driver didn't know what was up. I mean, he or she might not have, but damn, I don't know. It's just weird. You know, I think I would have known. I mean, he got assaulted numerous times. Numerous. Not one, but a bunch of times. Oh man, that's sad. Okay, my prayers are with that family and the little boy. Okay, and I don't know what they're gonna do to the other kid, but they definitely need to do some type of discipline to him. Okay, or her. I'm thinking it's a boy because I heard the little boy. I mean, I read that the little boy said he shouldn't get in trouble or whatever the case is. So yeah, he's definitely needs to have some type of discipline or whatever the case is from the school and from his parents. Point blank. All right. So here's another story, y'all. And this is another sad story. And I'm so sick of these little silly parents doing these crazy things. Okay. I'm just tired of it. Okay. So anyway, a mother left two young children home alone for nearly, not one day, y'all, not one couple hours, but 2 months. 2 entire months. Okay, and where she went, I don't know. Hopefully we'll find out in 1 second. But before that, I'm gonna let y'all hear the article, okay?
This is where they found
Wait, first we got to let the commercial go off, okay? These people in these dang on commercials. Let's see. We're gonna hear this in 1 second, y'all. Just wait.
Alaska Daily, now streaming on Hulu. Police near Houston say they're close to arresting a woman who left her 12-year-old daughter and 3-year-old son home alone for nearly 2 months. They say they found deplorable conditions at the house with only beans and spices in the kitchen. Police say the girl didn't tell anyone, fearing she'd be separated from her brother. The children are now living with relatives.
Time now for a look at your Friday.
Okay, so the thing is this. Wait, let me tell you about the article. A Texas mother is wanted for abandoning. A Texas mother is wanted for abandoning her 2 children for nearly 2 months late last year, according to police. Roman Forest, Texas police said Thursday they have issued an arrest warrant for Raven Yates for 2 counts of abandoning, endangering a child without intent to return. So this lady left her kids at home. She was never coming back. Okay. But one thing I have to say, at least she did not kill them. Okay. And at least the other girl, at least she's 12 years old. Okay. But she should have left more food. She should have told the little girl that she can call her grandma or her cousins or her aunt or uncle. Okay? Goodness. The father of one of the children, a 12-year-old girl, reported to police on November the 14th, 2022, that she had been left home alone with her 3-year-old brother since September the 28th. Okay, that's crazy, y'all. They allegedly did not have food or supplies for much of this time, and the two children were not registered in school. The father, who lives out of state, flew in from California in November after his former mother in law saw her daughter, Yates, alone in Mobile, Alabama. Police said he came to realize the two children were alone because his daughter had been asking him to send them food all the time. Okay? He alerted police and met them at the house where the two children were staying. The father does not live at the house, but he pays the rent. Roman Forest Police Chief Stephen Carlisle told ABC News in an interview. Police did not find any food in the cabinet or the fridge, but the kids were both healthy. I guess the 12-year-old was very resourceful, but she shouldn't have had to do that. The father of the 12-year-old took the two kids to stay with their grandmother in Mobile, Alabama. Now, why this nutty fruitcake girl did not tell the girl, the 12-year-old, her 12-year-old daughter, to call her grandma if she didn't come back? Or, because maybe she changed her mind after she left. I don't know. Or why did she just take them to her mother and just leave them there? And then if you are going to leave them at home, make sure they got enough food, period. So this is this lady right here, because I want y'all to see this silly ass lady, okay? Because this is very stupid what she did. Why do these people begin pregnant, having all these kids if they don't really want them? This is her. Now y'all see her. Yes. Okay. So police also discovered that a few weeks before she allegedly abandoned the children in September, Yates reported that her third child, a 14-year-old, had ran away. Somehow the child was able to make it to their grandmother's house in Mobile as well. The three children are now safe with their grandmother in Alabama. The thing is, though, okay, if the 14-year-old ran to the grandma's house, why didn't the grandma go to the house or call the house to see where the other two kids are? The 12-year-old and the 3-year-old. Because if one of my grandchildren ran to my house, right, and I'm trying to figure out how did she get there, I would be calling my daughter to find out why she ran over my house, what happened, and where are the other kids. And then I would go from there. Okay. So they say Yates is believed to still be in the Mobile area, and she has been posting regularly on her social media accounts. Police have been unable to locate Yates since first issuing a warrant for her arrest on December the 6th. Police hope members of the public will come forward with information that could help them apprehend Yates. Okay, but the thing is, how do we know something didn't happen to her? Because at first I thought maybe they had the lady, but after reading this, they haven't found her. So how do we know something didn't happen to the mom? So let's see what some of these comments says. So Julia says, sounds like the father isn't any better than the mother. It's not his ex-mother-in-law responsibility to raise his child or her daughters. If he could afford to pay the rent and send food, he can step up and raise the kid or the kids. Hold on for a minute, y'all. Okay, somebody said he could, but that would mean take all three or separate the siblings as only one is his. And his might not want to separate from her siblings. Okay. Somebody said clueless, drugs, ? Apparently something's wrong in her being as you don't abandon your kids for months. I hope the court takes away her privileges. as a mother, but the poor grandma doesn't need to be raising these poor kids either. I just hope she's physically, mentally, financially capable of it, though. So hard on the innocent ones. Well, actually, I think in that case, I think the grandmother should step up and raise the kids. Point blank. It doesn't matter. Okay, that's what grandmas are there for. If something happens to the daughters or sons, okay, point blank. We need to make sure that we take care of our families so they won't be in state custody. Point blank. It doesn't matter if you're a grandma or not, you know. So I think they took the kids to the right place. You know, I'm just trying to figure out where the mom is. Hopefully she is okay. Maybe she's on her drugs, like somebody else said. Hopefully she did not get hurt. Um, I don't know, because I'm trying to figure out why would she just leave. Somebody said this woman should be in prison. There is no excuse for leaving children alone for 2 months. Hopefully the father will get full custody. Okay, let's see. Let's see if they have any updates on this. Um, let's see. I don't think there's any more updates on this case. But I just know one damn thing. They need to hurry find her and figure out what exactly happened. And hopefully, like I said before, she is not dead or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't know exactly what happened. Initially when I read the story, I just thought maybe she just left. But since they haven't found this lady, okay, she could have went out and just went to the store or somewhere like this. Somewhere like that. And then something could have happened to her. Okay. Or she could be on drugs. You just never know. So if I do get an update on that, I'll let you guys know. Wait, y'all, let me do this. So hopefully, yeah, like I said before, we'll get an update on her and I'll let you guys know what happened in that case, as well as the other one that I read, the first one with the lady getting killed by her boyfriend. And also I'll update you on the case of the little boy who was sexually assaulted on the school bus numerous times if I get updates. Okay, let's see what else I got here. What time is it, y'all? Okay, it's 10:20. We've been on here almost an hour. Let me see if I can read this next one real quick. I'm not going to read this because this is close to my area. Let's see. Okay. Okay, guys. So they said this hypertension drug may slow aging. So if you have hypertension and you take this certain drug, it could be slowing down the aging process in your body. Okay, let's see what it is real quick. All right. Y'all don't forget to thumbs up this video. If you're not subscribed to this channel, you can subscribe below. Also, if you would like to support this channel financially, you can send a cash app to $Shays2. And thank you for your support. All right. So they said new research published in the journal Aging Cell has demonstrated that, I don't know the name of this drug, so I'm going to type it up here so you guys can see it. I don't even want to try to say this. So let's put this up here. Let's see. RILMEN. Wait a minute. I'm hitting the wrong thing. Let me see. NIDINE. DINE. This drug right here, guys, if you take this drug, this is a hypertension drug right here. This is a drug that treats hypertension. That's what I'm trying to say. Let me make sure I spelled that right. Ralmenidine, I guess that's how you pronounce that. That is a drug to use to treat hypertension. They believe this drug also slows aging and extends lifespan. Okay. Now I don't know how true this is, okay, but this is what they say. Um, let's see if she's talking about this. Okay, let me let y'all hear it. So listen to the story, y'all.
In other species like worms and fish and yeast and mice, if you restrict the number of calories that those organisms eat, then they actually live much longer. It's the only consistent intervention we know of to get organisms to live longer. And so, of course, the next question is, well, will this work in humans?
I'm a software engineer in the Bay Area, and I've been practicing calorie restriction for about 8 years. I'm eating about 1,600, 1,700.
This could be, listen, y'all, I'm going to stop this thing right here. I don't know why these weirdos always put up different news things to go with the daggone article. I don't know why they do that. But anyway, like I said, guys, because I don't know why come they always do this. The drug right there that's on the screen, while men are dying, I guess that's how you pronounce that. Anyway, they are saying that this drug, which is used to treat hypertension, can also slow down aging, and it also extends your lifespan. Okay. I don't know how true this is, but they said this is what they found out. Let's see. I'm trying to find a so anyway, yeah, let's see. These people. This is a long article. I'm not going to read all of this, but anyway, I'll just read a very little of this because you probably won't understand it anyway because they're using a lot of medical stuff. Okay, anyway, it said in the study, the researchers searched for compounds that induce a gene expression signature similar to caloric restrictions. So that's probably why they was talking about that in that article I was just playing. Okay. Caloric restriction is a well-known intervention that promotes increased lifespan in a wide range of species, but it has had mixed results with some negative side effects in humans. Okay. By finding a compound that mimics the effects of caloric restriction, it may be possible to induce the benefits associated with caloric restrictions without the negative side effects or difficulties of implementation. I'm not going to keep on reading this, guys, because it's going to be a lot. You're not going to even really understand it. Just know this. In this corona study, it shows the hypertension drug that I put on the screen right there could possibly slow the aging process down, and it could possibly extend lifespan. Okay. And they did this on some type of model organism called C. elegans. All right. You got that right. You got that right. Okay. So y'all may just want to look that up. Let me just show y'all where this came from because you may just going to read this article yourself and look this up just to see in case you're on that medication. Let me show you. This is the site that I got this off of. I don't want to read this because a lot of little, you're not going to know what I'm talking about anyway. Shit, I'm not going to break all this down. So it's there. Okay. This is the drug again, so you can see it right there. RILMENIDINE. Okay. It's a drug used to treat hypertension, slows aging, extends lifespan in the model organism C. elegans. I guess that's what they did that study on. Okay. Hold on. So as you can see, you can read this yourself. So if you want to read more about this, guys, you can, because it's a lot. Like I told you, you see how much is on here. I'm not about to read all of that. I was trying to play this, but you wouldn't know what they're talking about unless you read this and then research what caloric restriction is and whatever else words are in here. And it would just take too much time to go through all of this and stuff. But I just wanted to let you guys know, if you are on that medication, it is possible that it could reduce the aging. It slows it down, not reduce it, but it slows down the aging and extends lifespan in the model organism C. elegans. Okay, point blank. All right. That's right. You're right, Missy. Change your diet and watch your weight. Stop being chic. Research. Research is the key. Okay, research. Okay. You have to be your best advocate in life and consult your doctor. Okay, period. Always do this before you change anything, or before you start taking natural things or switching medications and things like this. Okay, so definitely do that. Let's see. So they had a stabbing, y'all, at a high school in St. Paul, Minnesota earlier today, okay? There was a 15-year-old boy who was stabbed, okay? The suspect who stabbed him is a 16-year-old student, and he was taken into custody, all right? They said the weapon is believed to be a fixed blade knife, and they recovered the weapon. So they actually, wait a minute, hold on. So the boy, the student died, okay? So the boy, the 16-year-old stabbed the 15-year-old boy to death, okay? And they said that was the first homicide of the year in St. Paul. So they said the stabbing happened just before noon local time, and the school immediately went into lockdown. Students were then dismissed early at about 1:20 p.m., the school district said. As the dad of a St. Paul student, I am heartbroken for the Harding High School community and the family of a student who lost their life today. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz said on Twitter, "We have offered our full support and have been assured that the area is now secure." I didn't even hear of this today. Okay, I didn't even know this happened. This is sad. Mm-mm-mm. You know what? These school incidents are happening so much. I didn't even hear about this today at all. Okay, let's see what these people are saying. You know, they're blaming everything except the one thing they should blame. Okay, let's see. Kids today have absolutely no respect for life, the victims or their own. My condolences to the family, friends, and fellow students of this young man who lost his life. Okay. Somebody else said sad for both families. But this is what happens when you take God out of schools. You push hate and division and everything. No consequences, and anything goes in this current society. And I agree. Um, Somebody else said, Larry said, why no metal detectors at schools? Or was the knife ceramic? Well, the thing about it is, I think they do need to start putting some type of metal detectors or something at the schools, because these kids are carrying all types of weapons into schools and stuff. And I also think parents need to teach their children how to deal with conflict, how to deal with certain issues, okay, versus going to grab weapons as soon as something happened, or if they get in a fight, or if somebody bullied them or something like that. I think, like I said, parents need to instill in their children certain things, you know what I'm saying? And let them know that life should be cherished. You don't just go out and kill people. You know what I'm saying? And also, parents need to um, acknowledge when their children are could possibly have things going on mentally. Okay, I think they should acknowledge this and get their children help. Also, talk to your kids. Find out if they're having problems in school. Find out if someone is picking with them, or if they're having any other problems with kids in school. You know, and if they are, do something about it. Do something about it. You know, sometimes you need to take kids away from that certain school and put them in another school if they are getting bullied or messed with. You know, sometimes just talking to the principal or a teacher, I mean, it doesn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't solve the problem. So therefore, you know, parents need to do other things, you know. Like I said, a lot of these things could probably be prevented, you know, if parents just start doing more, point blank. And at the same time, the schools need to do a little bit more, like maybe adding metal detectors in schools to make sure kids don't have knives or guns or anything like that on them. And then this would deter a lot of things from happening in these schools. My condolences are expressed out to the young man's family and his friends, and may he rest in paradise. And you know what? The other little boy is only 16, so I feel sorry for him as well. Because 16, I mean, even though they know right from wrong, he's still a kid. And I still say it's the parents' responsibility. You know, I agree, Missy. You're right. You know, we got to talk to our children, make them feel comfortable enough to come and let us know if they're having problems. You know, it could be any type of problem. A girlfriend breaking up with them, somebody bullying them, they don't feel like people like them, or whatever it is. Your child should be able to come to you and talk to you about these things, you know, because kids can handle what grown-ups can handle. You know what? Some grown-ups can't even handle certain things. So, you know, a child can't. So they need someone to talk to. You'll be amazed what it can do for a child if you open yourself up and don't make them scared or ashamed, and you know, let them know they can talk to you about almost anything. And a lot of things will be avoided, point blank. That's true, Missy. It definitely does. This is why, like I said, I homeschool my kids. Of course, when they got a certain age, I let them decide if they wanted to go to public school, school online, or private. And I let them choose. And if things, and usually I try to put them in good schools and all that stuff, but um, if things didn't work out or something, or if they had problems there, they knew to come and address me or my, you know, their dad about it. And since I was at home all the time with them, any problems they had at school, I always handled those problems. Okay, period. Because like I remember, hold on, y'all, for 1 second. I remember my other daughter. I sent her to school, and some kids. See, at first she was going to one school, but it was like mostly one race. So she wanted to go to a school that had more brown people there. Okay, so I sent her, let her go to this other school. She went to the other school, and it wasn't a brown kid; it was a Latino child who was picking with my daughter, right? Now, granted, when my daughter came home and told me, I had to handle that and tell her what was up and blase, blase. Okay. But I had to also go to the school itself and talk to the teacher and the principal. Okay. But I'm going to let y'all know, I bet you that girl wasn't talking no more about my daughter or doing anything else. Because I don't be playing around. We got to, like I said, when our kids come home and tell you things, you got to address those. And if the teachers or the principal can't do anything about it, then it's time to remove your child. Point blank. Point blank. I had to remove my other daughter from school because the kids, no, her teacher, her teacher was actually racist. And I went to talk to the principal, and he really wasn't doing anything. So you know what I told him at the meeting? She will not be coming back to your school next year. Okay? Because I also was a teacher and I'm very capable of teaching my daughter. And you know what? I started homeschooling her. Took her out of first grade. She was going to first grade and I started homeschooling her. You know, my daughter, Jade, is a very good girl. She was never any problem in school or anything that messed with nobody, quiet and everything. And why this teacher just did not like her, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't going to stand for that because y'all don't know. When teachers don't like a student or be saying stuff, it can make kids do all sorts of stuff. Right. Allegedly. Okay. It can make kids do all sorts of stuff. Okay. It can bring down their self esteem. It can make them feel like no one likes them. It can also encourage other kids to pick on them and everything. And so, like I said before, I wasn't going to stand for all of that, period. And parents today need to start finding out what's going on in these schools. Okay. Found out what's going on with their children. Okay. Because kids today, when people bully them, even when teachers do stuff, they don't just go back to school. Sometimes they go to school with other things and then they take it out on everybody. So that's why it's very important for parents, us parents, to talk to our children, to find out what's up, to show them how to handle conflict, how to handle being bullied, or if a teacher is not treating them correctly, or if somebody touched them the wrong way, or if somebody hitting them. You need to let your kids know and let them know they can always, always talk to you, even when they're having problems with doing their schoolwork. They can always come and talk to you. That's what we need to do. Missy says 6 hours a day. 6 hour day, 6 hours every single day, 5 days a week provides enough time to brainwash your children. I agree. You're right. Again, this is why I homeschool. Because one thing that I know with homeschooling, I teach my kids what they need to know. Okay. But at the same time, I teach them real history, things that they don't know in school, and stuff that I just think they need to know, along with the required stuff. Okay, point blank. And then I can also tell them the truth about certain things. So that's what's good about homeschooling, if you know how to homeschool. When I first homeschooled, way back in 2007, it wasn't as easy as it is now. Okay. When I started doing homeschool, then I had to do a lot of things on my own. There wasn't like many people online, like teachers teaching certain courses like they are today, and then plus I was fresh out of a school myself, a private school. So therefore I was teaching them almost the same exact way. I still was making out, I was still doing a curriculum right, the same exact way that I did it when I was teaching. And it was actually in school for like all those hours as well. But throughout the years, I started changing stuff. You know what I'm saying? According to the state I stayed in. Most states, well, Atlanta requires you to be homeschooling, I think, each day for 4 or 5 hours. I can't remember. And then Texas, I forgot how many hours it is. And then here, I think it's 5 hours or 4. Okay. So I broke I actually decreased the time that I was homeschooling, you know, and then I started breaking down classes, do certain classes per day, a couple times per week. But like I do math every single day with my son, okay, because he's not good in math. So I do math every single day. But like when I do social studies, I do that twice a week. History twice a week. Espanol, I do that once or twice a week, usually on Fridays. Then we do Bible class. I think that's like every other day. And I do gym every single day. I was doing gym every other day, but then I changed it to every single day so I can encourage him to work out and stuff. But then I do science a couple times a week. And what else? Science, um, social studies, history, math, language arts. Um, even though he's in the eighth grade, y'all, I still do spelling with him. He can spell real good. So I still do spelling with him. He does Spanish as the foreign language because that's what most people speak, Espanol and stuff. And I do music, art, health. What else? And I think that's it. So, but it's easier for me to homeschool now than it was when I first started in 2007 because now you can basically have teachers online that will teach them each subject. And that's exactly what I do with my son. I have different teachers online teach him certain subjects. I don't really even have to sit here and teach him anymore like I used to. I let those teachers teach him math and things like that. But at the same time, I give him the required history that he needs to learn, but at the same time, I give him history that they don't teach in the schools. You know what I'm saying? Especially certain history about brown people, black people. You know what I'm saying? And stuff. Same thing with Bible class. In homeschooling, I can let him do Bible class. You know what I'm saying? In regular schooling, you can't unless they go to a Christian private school or whatever the case is. We do prayers and all that type of stuff. So that's what I like about homeschooling. Plus, they can learn. To me, they can learn um, more efficiently because if they don't understand something, you can stay on that subject for a long time until they learn it. Okay, you don't have to keep on moving on. Like when you're in a regular school setting, you have to go with the curriculum they give you, and you have to do it at the amount of time that they give to you. If you're homeschooling, you still need to keep up. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to teach them a certain amount of stuff for that year. However, if they're not learning something, you can stay on that subject a little longer. Because the thing about homeschooling, you can teach every day if you want to, all throughout the year. Because like I had my son in summer school for a couple of weeks, and he's doing really good now. Because I know when I first started homeschooling him, it was a damn nightmare trying to teach him. It was an absolute nightmare. And like a couple of years ago, when he actually started sitting down and actually doing his work and trying to learn and things like that. So he's doing pretty good. Just with that math, he's still like under his level, but I'm getting him back up there, you know. And I'm still working with him on writing paragraphs and things like that the correct way. But he's good at spelling and certain things he's good at with like science. Um, History is pretty good. Social studies is okay, but that math is weak. So I'm trying to get him up to par on the math. There are teachers on OnlyFans, etc. Field trips to inappropriate places. You're right, girl. You're right, man. I saw that teacher being on there right there. That's a trip. They be doing the most. But some teachers are good because, my daughter was a school teacher. Now she's a principal. She's training to be a principal. But I guess she still teaches some classes too. I don't know. But and her husband is an instructor at the college in the city they're in. So yeah, teachers, some teachers are real good teachers. I was an excellent teacher when I used to teach. I got honor teacher of the year. I used to decorate the crap out of my classroom. I'm not gonna lie. My board, because like I forgot how they did it. Every month we had to do a certain theme for our boards. So like I think like we had contests, I believe, if I remember this correctly. And so I won a couple of those. And then of course they had the best dressed teacher. I won that. Um, and then I got an honor of the year teachers award, so that was a good thing, you know. And one thing that I did like about teaching at a private school out in Roswell, Georgia, is that because I was in a real nice area, right? And I used to get some really really nice gifts. I mean, for real, some real nice gifts. They really did like the teachers at our school, okay, and they definitely liked me. Like I told y'all before, I even got invited to one of the parents. She had like a little cookout, you know. It was just me and her, and then her little girl that she adopted, and then my daughter, and we had a good time. I'll never forget that. She had a beautiful house, 3 levels, very nice. She was divorced. She was doing real good. She adopted a little girl because she couldn't have any kids. Her little girl was bad though. I'm not gonna lie. And I mean very bad. But I played it off and stuff, and I had a good time over there. It was a white lady too, and we had a good time over her house. And I'll never forget that. And so I really did have a really good time teaching. I really did enjoy it. Um, all of the kids, except maybe a couple, was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? One little boy kicked me one time though. He sure did. And my assistant came in the room and had to help me with him and stuff. But other than that, I think everybody else was okay. Pretty good. They used to love Miss Sharon. They'd be like, "Hey, Miss Sharon." They used to call me by my first name, but say Miss Sharon. Okay. And we used to go on little trips and stuff. We went to the Tennessee Aquarium. Where else? I know we went to the Tennessee Aquarium, and then I think we went to a couple more places. Like I think we went to a play. I can't remember because this was a while ago. But we did a lot of stuff, you know. And then like on my lunch break, um, I was in a kindergarten classroom, right? So my kids um took naps, okay, every day. So when they took a nap, my boss would let me go and do whatever I had to do because I had my kids, so I had all these responsibilities. So they were so nice to me that they would let me leave and go to my other kids' school and stuff and check on them. You know what? They even let me come to work. My assistant would be in my classroom until I got there because I was supposed to be at school like at 7, but I couldn't be there at 7 or 6:30 or 7. I can't remember because my other kids had to go to school. So they would actually let me come in a little bit later. Yeah. And I would take my kids to school and then go and get to my school and I would teach my class. But my assistant would be, greeting the kids when they come in, make sure they get their breakfast and things like that. So back then, everything was working out great for me. This was in 1999. Everything was working out good for me. All of my employers basically worked together with me, at every job that I ever had, you know, especially the ones when I got to Atlanta. They did a real good job with, helping me and stuff like that, like letting me come to work a little later and things like that. And, I really did enjoy teaching. I really did, you know. The kids was good. We had good lunches. Um, I used to be able to leave while the kids were sleeping. I mean, like a whole hour, sometimes an hour and a half. Sometimes I would go out and go catch a movie. I couldn't see the whole movie, but I would, catch some of it, and every day I would go out and get me an ice cream cone every single day, an ice cream cone and a chocolate chip cookie. So y'all know I've been eating junk for the longest, okay? This is nothing new. I've been doing this for years, And then you know what, guys? Anytime I put this thing on mute, it's because I'm coughing. Because I told y'all before, anytime I get on this day, every time I get on this live, my nose get congested. I don't know why. Every time. I think because my room is kind of cool. I don't know if it's for sure. It's just that my allergies start messing up when I get online and stuff. This is probably something psychological, right? But yeah, I used to love teaching though, because I used to have so much fun, man. I'm not gonna lie. I remember when I used to work at AT&T telephone company. Um, I used to catch the bus to my job at that time, right? And every day when I used to go home, y'all, I would go to this corner store on, I can't remember the name of that street, but it was in Sandy Springs. I think that's Sandy Springs. No, that's not Sandy Springs. What is that area called? It's not Roswell either. Um, I can't remember the area. I thought that was Roswell though, Roswell, Georgia. I'm not sure. But anyway, I used to go to the store across the street, right? And every day, y'all, I would get a fudge round, if you know what that is. And I would get like a root beer with a lot of ice in it, and I would add water to it because I could never drink a straight pop soda. So I would always add water to it and put a lot of ice in it, and then the pop, and then I would get me a fudge round every single day going day when I got off of work, and I would stand right there at the bus stop, and I would be eating this every single day. I used to love fudge rounds. And I just stopped eating that all the time because I was eating fudge rounds for a long time. Those things are good. At least they used to be good. They're not as good now. I don't know what they did to them. You're right, Missy. Every profession has great people, in the others just pay attention. You're right. You're right. Because everybody couldn't be like me. Because my ass was a good teacher and nice. Made sure I taught my kids. Um, y'all know what? I used to comb the little girl who her mom invited me to her house because the little girl also liked it, my little girl. I used to comb her hair when she come to class because sometimes my mom didn't have enough time to comb her hair. So I used to comb her hair for her, you know. So I used to do that, change the kids' clothing, all types of weird stuff, you know. And they was learning a lot. So that's the reason why I was able to teach my kids. Because like I said, my son he was very difficult. Jade was too, somewhat, but they ended up learning good. If you ever heard my daughter Jade speak, she's very articulate. Hell, she be trying to teach me how to say words because my ass be saying all types of weird stuff. Y'all know that's right because you hear me doing it. My diction is not as good as it should be. Um, and even though I took speech in college and public speaking, I think sometimes I just talk too fast and I really just don't think about saying words at times and I just say them. But my daughter is very articulate. I mean, she can speak well. All of them can. So I'm glad. Y'all know something funny when I used to teach school though, and I would forget the kids' names at times. It used to be so funny. They would correct me. And let me tell you something. Don't say a word wrong to kids. They are going to tell you. Okay. So when I used to teach, I made sure that I said everything correctly. The only thing that I would mess up on is at times I would call some of those kids the other kids, because I had like 25 students in my classroom. So, I mean, how can you remember all these kids' names all the time, you know? But one thing about teaching kindergarten in first grade, you keep the same kids the entire time, especially when I was teaching, you know? And I would still be teaching if I wouldn't have stopped. I stopped when I got married and stuff, and everything. But yeah, if I wouldn't have, probably if I would have stayed single, I would still be teaching school. I don't know about today though, because some of these kids are hard headed. I don't know if I could do it right now. Maybe if I stay in kindergarten classroom or first grade, maybe second grade, maybe. But I don't know about that. If I was teaching right today, it would just basically be kindergarten or first grade. That's it. Maybe second grade, nothing more. I don't want to go in no higher class. When I was teaching back then, I did go into, I think one time I went to a school and I was in, but it was like I wasn't teaching because I couldn't teach that class, but I was in like the after school program or something where I was like monitoring the kids or whatever the case is. And they were teenagers, but I actually got along with them pretty good. We actually had fun, so, but that was back then. I don't know about now. I still get along with kids though, even today, but I'm just saying, I don't know. These kids be doing the most now. They be bringing weapons to school, all types of weird stuff. I don't know about that. But it was fun when I was doing it. It was very, very nice, and I really enjoyed it. I really did, especially, the award ceremonies and things like that, in our graduations and things like that. Plus, my kid was able to go to the school as well, so I was happy about that as well, for free. So I was happy about that. It's always a plus when your child can go to your school for free, a private school. All right. But yeah. So anyway, guys, this is a new schedule because I'm getting ready to get off of here. Okay, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays are the only days that I am going to do a live. Okay. I'm trying to do these lives Monday through Friday at between 7 and 7:30 Pacific Standard Time. If I can change my schedule at work and actually leave from home early in the morning versus leaving later, like if I can get out at 11 a.m., then I'll stop working at 6 and come and do a live at 6:30. I'm going to try to work on that this week. Okay, so I can come in a little earlier, so y'all won't have to be in here so late and everything. But that's the way I'm going to do that. And then on the weekends, I'll just be off because I cannot do a live every single day, y'all. It's just too much. And you need to take a break. And I'm trying to do this like a regular job. So Monday through Friday, and then I'll be off on the weekends. All right. Now, again, I'm having a little quick Dollar Tree haul come out tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. Make sure y'all check that out for me. Thumbs up that video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Try to watch that entire video. It's going to be very short. So try to check that out for me, so they can push my videos out more and more and more. Also, don't forget to thumbs this video up, guys, okay? And also subscribe to the channel. And you can hit that bell notification. And also, if you watch this in a replay, leave a comment. All these things works well with YouTube when they want to rotate your video for more people to see it, all right? Also, if you would like to donate to my channel, you can do that by going to my Cash App, which is this right here, $Shays2. All right. Those donations help to grow this channel. All right. I want to thank you, Missy, for your donation. Let me put that up there. Let me see if I got that up there. Probably. Yeah, here it is right here. Thank you so much, girl. I appreciate you. Thanks to everybody else. Thank you to everybody in the bushes. Thank you for checking me out. Let's see. The only person came in here on my chat tonight is Missy, who always shows up for me. Everybody else is probably asleep or out. But thank you so much, Missy, for coming in tonight and, staying up with me tonight to watch this. All right, guys. Y'all know what I'm about to say. It's time to get out of here. You guys have a blessed weekend. On Monday, I will go over some Black history stuff, guys, tell you about some people who did some really great things, not the normal people. Look, we're not going to talk about the same old people they always talk about. I want to tell you about some Black people you don't know about who invented things, who made a difference in this world, okay, that we know of today. So all next week, that's what I will be doing along with my regular content, okay? So until then, guys, have a blessed weekend, all right? Do something good. Do something positive, okay? Take care and good night. Let me just say thank you, Blondie Queen 55, for coming in as well, okay? Because I didn't see your thing up there. Yeah, catch the replay, and thank you so much. Y'all take care, all right? I'll see you guys on Monday. Monday, between 7, we're just going to say between 6 and 7 Pacific Standard Time, okay? Which is between 9 and 10 Eastern Standard Time. Y'all have a good night. Talk to you later.